supposed to drive into the sun, hopefully. I think.
Well, good, because by the time we get into the sun will be facing behind us, so it won't be blinding us.
So, I know why you're here. You make total sense.
Sense is good.
How you doing, guys? Matt, Paul. Yeah, we're driving in a car, as you can see. Going to, where are we going? Backwards lane, I like to call it. Canada.
Canada, maple syrup, and hairy bitches.
And poutine. Yeah, so we're going to make some videos and drink beers and, yeah, make fun of Canadians, I think, right?
That's pretty much the plan.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so,
that's the CV.
So hopefully I turn this into some kind of documentary thing. How you doing, YouTube? Albino Rhino Beerfest in Whitby, Ontario, 2015. Let's see what we got going on. Okay. Black 3 Brewing. We'll get back to these guys a bit later. Yeah.
I know he's talking about it. Nope. Go ahead.
How long have you guys been brewing?
Island, yeah.
We've been a brewery for 1 year, as of yesterday.
As of yet, actually, I knew that because when I stopped here, you said that.
I can do a 2 for 30.
How do I put this? Gently. You guys probably make the best beer here.
Absolutely. I have tied with everyone. I have a lot of purple. I think I have one more extra large.
How long you guys been brewing?
So it's
like,
medium
yourself,
small.
not
We
the
have
brewery itself, but just like individually.
like I have the 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Started in our backyards just with propane burners in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
We realized that Sarnia was starving for this and that our beers were good, so took it to the next level. It worked out nice.
How do you know each other? Friends?
Yeah, we've been buddies for years.
Yeah. Who, you two brewers, he brews too?
We ourselves are not brewers, no, we're owners.
Okay.
The brewer, head brewer didn't come today.
Didn't come today?
No.
And then how'd you think this up? Like, as far as, like, you're the owner but not the brewer. Like, you're a home brewer, but then you got, like, a person with a bit more seasoning, a bit more whatever.
Yeah. It was just passion. We all had the same passion.
Yeah.
We wanted to keep our day jobs, though, at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, so we...
Because you never know. You gotta pay the bills.
We didn't mind our day jobs, but we loved this. So this was a hobby that turned into a business that it's just become a dream kind of thing. So we hope.
And how's it going?
How's it going?
Yeah.
It's going very well. Opened our new tap room. We got capacity for 100 now. Sarnia seems to like us a lot, which is good. And if we keep spreading and doing stuff like this and win people over, we'll take it.
And like, did you guys start? I see you have bottles. Are you bottling stuff, or is it more just like
small,
low,
purple,
like single stuff, like not a ton of bottling, or are you guys going full force into bottling?
We do bottle, but you can see the size there. They're bombers.
Yeah, they don't strain.
750. The no below the green one for 30 from the LCO.
Oh yeah,
that's in through Sarnia, London. It's going to be in Toronto at the next week.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you.
So are you guys typically very? I don't want to say hop forward, but it's not hop forward. Malt forward. It seems like the brewer with the bourbon barrel aged this and then the barley wine. Even though there's hops involved, it seems like there's a big malt bill in a lot of stuff you do. A lot of places like produce like a a session IPA or something like that. You guys do that too, or you just kind of going balls to the wall with bigger stuff?
We're just open for whatever, right? We've done young guys. We've got our 6 flagships, and then we've done I think 20 seasonals this year alone. So we kick out whatever we feel is going to be good. Give anything a try. Right? We had a group a couple couple months ago that was good. I mean, any edge you want to go to in the beer world, we'll try and get there.
Just get every angle.
For sure. Yeah.
What do you guys drink besides your own beer?
Yeah, just the guy that likes beer.
Everybody fucking says that, man. You don't have a favorite beer, you're like, oh man, I love that beer.
Say favorite.
What?
You didn't say favorite.
I said, what do you drink? When you drink, like, again, if you like beer, you're gonna try everything and everything.
Expanding the brewery,
to kind of know where the bottom and top is.
He'll get sidetracked.
But like, if you're gonna like be like, oh man, this
He's
is
the smartest guy. Whenever we run into a problem,
So we live in Sarnia, which is right across from Michigan, obviously.
Oh, him and
so we have a wealth.
and he's not brewing though.
Selection right across the board. Literally 10 minutes away. We can get, We can get Founders. We can get.
So we opened a nice
Bell.
Coonin, the whole nine.
They're all there, right? So the selection's there, and that's really what we started with. So I'd have to say, something like Founders Breakfast Stout.
Okay.
One of my favorites of all time.
So you sit at the table, Atwater. You want a sandwich?
Atwater?
Yeah.
The Java style, your big Java
Stout's amazing. Yeah. Stout Porter. I like the Founders all day. I think they're one of my favorites.
All day IPA?
It's just such a good, easy drink.
It is.
There's a brewery in Michigan we go to all the time. Which is 45
Now,
miles past us. I would recommend it. Dragon Mead Brewery.
So you're
45
malt
years
forward,
old.
hop forward guy? Is that kind of how it works? I mean, you're saying breakfast stout, he's saying...
Depends what day it is.
They have like
There's not many beers I don't think we turn down.
Yeah, then they gave us the menu.
These guys are waiting. Thanks for talking, man.
Big
And you guys are refined fool from where?
Fine Fool from Sarnia.
There you go. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's see, Beau's.
Yeah.
Beau's.
Let's do it.
Say, you didn't tell anybody in the world about your brewery. What would you say?
It's a small town, organic, and we just want to have a good time.
Yeah. And right now, before I had, what was it? The Weizenbach.
Yeah.
I had the Weizenbach, and I had
Dunkelbuck.
the Dunkelbuck.
Yeah.
That sucker right there.
Yeah.
And I don't think I had anything else. Now, if I were to walk up here and you didn't know who I was and you wanted to represent your brewery, give me that, whatever that is.
For sure. We're going to have Love Tread. It's our flagship.
Okay.
It's a lagered ale, so very clean, very crisp. All of our beers 100% organic. We like to say that this is the gateway to craft beer.
Oh, yeah?
It's very light, easy drinking, so those people who like the Molson Miller Lite are going to love this beer.
Okay. And this is, do you have information on this as far as like hops, malt bill, the whole nine, or no?
I could look up all the ingredients for you if we want to go into details, but 5.6%.
Okay.
Very light IBUs, very golden color. Any other specific?
No.
No.
I just figured I'd ask you.
What do you think of it?
It tastes exactly what you said. It's basically if you're gonna a gateway drug,
Yeah.
but much cleaner, more organic, like clean, fresh.
Yeah, absolutely,
Like
yeah.
non-offensive. And you could, these guys want to drink, so you can jump in there. You all right, brother?
I can help you. This guy's like a fan. He loves Beau's, right? Yeah. He's been selling it.
What are they trying to advertise here?
Well, he asked if he came up and he hadn't heard of Beau's, but we tried. I said Lug Tread, right? You got to do Lug Treads. Lager ale, clean, crisp, easy drinking. It's our flagship. Get it all year round.
The Logan Tread will get you home. And then from there on out, it flows to the veins.
What can I get for you?
That's right, brother.
What do you recommend?
Have you had Beau's
You're not even
before?
going to advertise
No.
that.
So I would go with Lug
No,
Tread, so
it's
lager
great,
ale,
man.
very light, clean, crisp, easy drinking. It's our flagship, so you can get all year round. We can go hoppy, interesting, or dark from there.
We'll go with
Yeah, let's start with the flagship, and if you like it, you can come back and try some different stuff. We got 9 different brands today, so no shortage of awesome different craft beer.
nice.
Yeah, cheers.
So what do you drink out of the Beau's line that your favorite?
Goes day by day. That's hard. It's like asking someone what their favorite beer is, right? Hot sunny day like this, Lug Tread first up, absolutely, and then I'm really into our newest one, Dunkelbuck.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I
it's
had
good.
it earlier.
So like, yeah, you got the wheatness
I'm a
to
sucker
it, but
for
like,
bananas. I'm a sucker for bananas.
I know.
I love bananas.
It's not too. It's not too heavy.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you like bananas? You guys give a shit? Film?
No.
So, what do we got here? Mash panel. Where are you guys from?
Brantford, Ontario.
Yeah. And How long have you been brewing? I know I already asked you this shit earlier.
This is our first day, actually. Our first time at Beer and Festival.
Sold this many beers.
That is a jar full of beer. And you have 2 beers on tap. What are they?
We have a Dutchman's Alt, which is an alternative take on an alt beer.
Okay.
And a Pale Ale.
Okay.
It's unnamed. So new. We don't have a name for it yet.
What if I was going to drink a beer right now? Which one would you give me?
I would suggest the Alt. I'm very
The
proud
Alt?
of that beer.
Let's have it.
I got it. The thing is like we gotta ask you a few questions. Are you looking for something super refreshing and bright and citrusy? Yeah. But I think this is our flagship beer for sure.
Well, and that's why I asked. Like, if you're going to give somebody something, it's usually going to be your flagship beer. So it's like, you tell me what you think is your best beer.
This one for sure.
Okay.
The Dutch alternative.
What do we got here? Like
Like
malt
English
bill, hop bill, like the whole nine.
Churro, a little bit of Cara Bohemian.
Definitely
some
caramel in there.
And some Carafone.
Okay. And I remember you talking about, who was talking about Carafone? I don't think it was you. I think it was somebody else. It's very, seems like a common hop in this area.
Yeah, it's used quite a bit. Either the Carafone or Carapils is usually the way to get it. Really nice head retention and a lot of body.
It's just tough because it's so cold in the ice box. You can't get it at the proper temperature.
Yeah, you have to get it to let it warm up a little bit. You know what I mean?
The problems of a festival.
The what?
The trials and tribulations of a festival. It's like one temperature.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Too cold rather than too warm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And how are you guys enjoying the festival?
This is fantastic. It's our first one. We had great reception and great cause going back to the.
We've had people come back for more.
Yes. Yeah, the repeat was awesome.
I mean, the proof is in the jar, right?
That's right.
And how do you all know each other? Like, do you know each other growing up? Are you friends, or you just kind of like came together?
I was brewing a brewery on premise, and Teddy came in wanting to learn how to brew, playing a dummy, if you will. And so he came like, "How do you brew, dude?" And like, "This is how you brew." So I showed him. He knew exactly how to brew, but he was planning on opening up his own brewery, so he kind of played that card, and then we kind of hit it off really well. And as he started opening the brewery, I got more and more involved with it.
So
11 years experience.
So you had more experience, he had more motivation?
That's exactly it.
Is that kind of where we're going there?
I
Like
did some executive courses at the Siebel Institute for Brewing
in Chicago, yeah?
My background is fire protection engineering, so it's the study of heat transfer and water. So
That's a good relation. Yeah, I mean that kind of works.
And this is my wife, Nicole, and our future boss, maybe. But
everybody's future boss.
and she's really keeps the numbers down, and she's got her master's in education. She really helps out that way.
Nice.
That's a bad thing to say.
So how many beers have you guys actually made that you're going to produce? Do you have a recipe? Like, I know you said earlier, I talked to you, you have a bunch of recipes, but you have like a
We
core?
have 4 that we're planning on making. Right now we have the alt beer and the pale ale down like we want them. And we're going to be working on possibly a raspberry, cranberry, wheat, and a heavier IPA.
Okay.
And I'd like to do a seasonal, maybe in the
In
winter.
our logos, we hope to. There's going to be puzzles in our logos that are going to tell you what's coming up next for the season. So,
nice.
So, yeah, hopefully that's it's fun. It makes me interested. I was always the guy looking. Where's the booze?
Nice.
Just try to have fun with it. Again, invest in the quality of the beer first. We're not great for marketing. We're not big marketing guys, but the quality of the equipment, it really made the brewing experience cost tenfold. We wanted to build a brewery ourselves. We wanted to know the equipment because we built it. And our tap room will be open mid-June. And again, like the growler fillers, we're not going to fill growlers off the tap. We invested in equipment to do backfill CO2 growler fillers. That was my biggest peeve. When I did a brew tour on my motorcycle, I went to this place and that place, and my growlers didn't last very long. So again, we waited. It took us a long time to open, but
Open the brewery itself.
I guess the business started about a year ago, but I've been building this in my head.
Way long.
Yeah, years. But literally, these are the first beers I've ever sold. So we literally finished the brew house, and we brewed these beers that you're tasting.
That's fantastic,
So,
man.
I mean, the office isn't built. Her office isn't built. You still see files everywhere and stuff, but we want to
Still a
tidy
mess.
that up before we let people inside the retail place. But one thing at a time. This was a key component for us to kind of launch. I follow Chad and what he does for a long time, and he's the grassroots, and I'd love to open here, so that's kind of what we did.
So give all the pertinent information, where you're at, name, the whole nine. Sell yourself.
Style Brewing Company, bricks and mortar brewery, ground up, Brantford, Ontario. I guess we let the beer speak for itself. It's all natural, no additives, and really emphasize taste, smell, flavor, all the things you kind of want to the beer experience.
Quote unquote good beer.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Awesome, thank you, man.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
What's your name?
Teddy.
Teddy?
I'm Maddie. Pleasure, man.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Ian. 5 paddles.
That's me.
Okay. Where did you get your start?
Well, we all met at a local homebrew club. There was a lot of us that were kind of the initial members, and 5 of us had the idea that maybe we could open a brewery, make a go of it. The initial idea was to open up a small brewery, a nano-sized brewery, and not quit our day jobs. The idea was to not take on a mortgage and not lose our houses or our wives.
The latter is the harder part of that.
That's the most important thing, is to not lose your wife. So they all agreed. Everybody thought it would be a cool idea. We went through the whole process of getting licensed and everything and opened a brewery. And 3 months later, I quit my day job and I came on full time. And it's
how many owners?
There was 5, and now there's 3 of us that are working there full time.
Okay.
So the rest will be, hopefully when we can make enough money that they can quit their awesome day jobs, they can come on full time. But
all brewers, or all everybody brewers. Doing all brewers?
All
okay.
Well, home brewers, right? Like we all started as home brewers. We went with the idea that we wanted to open a brewery and do whatever we want, because it's very kind of, you could have a very bad job by just making the same beer over and over again to the end of time.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to do that. We don't buy beer, we don't drink beer like that. We wanted to kind of always make something different. So we all come from 5 different disciplines. Ed does a lot of our stouts. I do a lot of the Belgian beers and wheat beers. Spencer tends to do a lot of our English style beers. So it's we don't have a style that you can peg to our brewery. Sometimes you get that kind of like, I know that this brewery tastes like that.
Yeah, like pigeonhole, like typecast.
Yeah, but it's some breweries, it's like 10% Abbey malt in every beer, and you always have a distinct malt profile in every beer. For us, we don't, because we come at it from a totally different viewpoint, right?
Plus, it's always nice, whether it be, doesn't matter, food, beer, art, whatever. Sometimes you can get some blinders on. It's nice to bounce something off somebody who's not in that zone. You're like, oh, this is great, and be like, well, maybe you're not. You're just focusing. You're too into that,
and that's
you can't
exactly
see outside.
You get comfortable into an area of brewing, and we force each other to get uncomfortable. So things like our Midnight Paddler, our big hopped up Imperial Stout, Ed's the one that designed the recipe. He brews it, but we all have to brew it. And same with a wheat beer. I'll design the recipe. They all have to brew it as well. So we all share each other's recipes, and it's always kind of a competition, a friendly competition to see who can really nail it. Who did it the best.
Nice. So you have 2 here today. You have your Pale Ale and your Midnight Paddler. These are your flagship beers. Pretty much.
The Midnight Paddler is one that it's our biggest beer that we make most often. So it is a hopped up Imperial Stout, 9.9% alcohol. It's got all those big Imperial Stout flavors where you get chocolate and coffee and molasses and burnt toffee kind of flavors, but it also has a good bit of hop background, so a little bit of citrus from it, but not into that IPA kind of range. Okay. So it's like we tried to turn everything up to 11 on it. The Badass Pale Ale is kind of one of those classic, Ontario Pale Ales. It's got a little bit of malt backbone, but it's got that really good hop character, but without getting into the IPA range. So it does have a little bit of hop character, but not bitter hoppiness.
Let's have some of that Midnight Paddler. I already had this already, but it was so good, I wanted to have it again because it's delicious. It's like I spoke to Ian earlier, and this is just a fantastic beer. Absolutely great. Russian Imperial in spirit, a little bit more And he described it as more hop forward. I thought it was going to be a hop bomb.
Yeah.
A lot of people go that way, almost
But
like.
it's not.
But it's not. It's perfectly well balanced. It's an absolutely delicious beer. Where exactly are you guys located?
We're in Whitby, Ontario, so just on the other side of Toronto. We're kind of one of the first craft breweries to open up out in that area. There was no other breweries in Whitby at the time when we opened up, but now there's 2, and there's 3 other that have opened up in the past 2 years. So it's kind of neat to see where there was nothing there at one point about 3 years ago, and now we've got 5 breweries, and there's more to come. So
Almost like a catalyst. It's nice to be first. Not to really like.
Well, I can't claim that because in Pickering, Bruce Halstead, he opened up County of Durham 20 years ago, and he did the same thing. 3 homebrewers opened up a brewery, quit their day jobs to run that brewery. So he was one of the founding members of the Ontario Craft Brewers Association. He's been a pillar of the Ontario craft movement, and he's been there for a long time. But for 20 years, there's nothing else, and then we opened up.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if you were to have like one a mission statement, like a philosophy behind your beer, what would it be?
I think that the way that we approach all of our beers, it's flavor first. We try to make yummy beer. We want people to be kind of blown away. It's like the intensity is there. We don't really, we look at where we want the beer to be, and then we go back and we make it, and then we go back and go, oh shit, that was a very expensive beer to make. So we're not looking at it from an accountant's point. It's like there's no spreadsheet on how to make a beer at our brewery. It's more like, hey guys, I got this great idea, I want to do it. And they say, do it, man, make it happen. And it's like you go with this great concept, and then to have it executed is even better. And it's cool to get everybody supporting you. Nobody says, oh, wait a minute, no, don't put 400 pounds of strawberries in it because that's way too expensive. They're like, 400 pounds of strawberries? Fuck yeah, man, make it happen.
So you always have, it's a business, it's a bottom line. You have to pay bills, but in the grand scheme of things, if that's your end game, then you're just not going to survive. I mean, it's about good beer.
Yeah.
Made by people who give a shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. We love all the aspects of making beer, and all of us do, and that's why our beer is the way it is. It's because we love it. And if anybody doesn't love it, man, don't work with us. We don't want to work with you. Because you have to have had at one point in your life one beer that you have and you go, holy shit, I can't believe this is in my mouth. It's so good. And, everybody can't have that. But number one, beer. But yeah, and if you don't get that intensity, I don't know, the passion really needs to be there when you're making beer. Because if not, you're not going to make a good beer.
Probably ask.
We have a peanut gallery question by Joe.
Yeah, why isn't Ed here?
What's that?
Why isn't Ed here? Where is he again?
Oh, Ed's in Cuba.
Oh yeah, he just said, you know what? He was like, fucking Albino Rhino.
Oh yeah. He said, sure, we'll do the Albino Rhino Fest. But he's like, fuck those guys. I'm going to Cuba. I'm going to sit on a beach. And he's like, no more rum and coke for a week, man. That's it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
Ian, 5 Paddles. Check them out if you're ever in Canada. Delicious beer. Talk about your beer.
Well,
if you're, first off, where are you guys from?
we're from Guelph, Ontario.
Guelph.
Yeah.
That's with a G and a U and a E.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're, how old has the brewery been around?
30
Long
years.
time. 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
Has it always been? I don't want to use the moniker craft oriented, but has it always been like that?
Yeah. They started out. It was 2 English gentlemen who started up the brewery, so that's why our core brands are based on English ales.
Okay.
So we do like a bitter, a pale, dark, a stout, and a strong. Those are our core brands. So. But it's always been, they were one of the first breweries to, and also the 2 English gentlemen loved cask beer. So we were one of the first, like 30 years ago, to do cask ales. So now that's become more popular again, so it's fun because we still do cask beers.
Cask beers, I mean, it's actually almost like cask ales, almost like, I don't want to say like a trend, but it seems like it's something that's coming back fucking crazy.
Yeah. With all the There's cask festivals now. There's full-fledged, it's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible. So,
do you have a flagship beer you would actually call this is
definitely, the Special Pale Ale is the beer, especially because of the hometown of Guelph really supports the brewery, always has. So that beer is like Guelph's lager. That is what Guelph people drink.
Yeah, they walk in the bar and they don't say, give me a Wellington lager, they just go, give me a lager.
Yeah.
And then, is that how it is?
No, they'll just say an SBA or the boot, but that is, it's in every bar in Guelph, that kind of thing. So that's their, their major production. So
now I was here earlier and I had your the milk stout, the chocolate milk stout, absolutely delicious. I had your Russian Imperial Stout, absolutely fantastic. If I were to have one more beer, which one would it be?
I would suggest the Terrestrial, which is they call it an India brown ale. So what they did was they took a traditional brown ale and basically hopped it up. They added 5 different hops to it, and in their usual Wellington way, they kept it at a nice 5.9. It's still nothing extreme. Usually Wellington equals balance and nothing over the top. So that's what kind of beer it is. It's a lovely blend, and the brewery's very proud of it. They won a gold medal in 2012 for it. I believe I can't remember if it was the Ontario or the Canadian. Forgive me for that. But they've been bringing it out once a year now. So it's just a small batch, and
let's get one of those.
That's the one you should try.
I would like one of those, please. This young lady has been so excited to be on camera.
I love being on camera.
Yeah.
Brewing student. Ask her.
I know, brewing student. Yes, look at that. Right there you go.
I can't wait until this is on the internet.
On the magics of the internet. Now, what is your favorite Wellington?
Of the core brands, I like the Arkell, or the Guelph people call it Arkell, and the Hamilton people call it Arkell. It's a session bitter, 4%, and it's just lovely. It's a great summer beer. But out of the one-offs, I gotta say I like the IPAs that they've done. They're planning on doing an IPA series so that we always have one going, which is great. So the Shangri-La is one of the ones they did, and it was just lovely. I miss not having an IPA all the time. We should really.
Are you a hot
No, I'm not. I love all beer. But
that's the answer every single person here freaking says. Which it's lying. It's like everybody has a favorite child. And they do. I don't care. You have a favorite dog, you have a favorite child, you have a favorite whatever. Everybody's like, I love everything.
But I will say that if I have my choice, I will always choose something with a little more hops in it.
So you're having just
but I don't like the extreme.
Let the flag fly.
I'm a hotbed for sure.
I like my bitterness. I'm a bitter man.
I still really enjoy a good stout.
Now now you have the delineation between the two. Like, are you pine forward? Are you juicy citrus?
I'm pine forward.
Are you?
Anything with Simcoe in it, I love. Yeah.
What about you? Sam?
I am more. I like a little citrus. Yeah.
I don't
A little? That was like I like all of the citrus. All of them.
I do like a fair amount.
Now, besides Wellington, what's your favorite IPA?
Oh, that's a good question.
In Ontario or?
You're
It's impossible. There's no way of knowing.
You like the pine crab? Just say Sapphire Swan. What do you like?
No, I really like Low Pine from Sawdust City.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Wellington, Guelph, Ontario.
Guelph.
Guelph.
Yeah, with a
Not
Guelph.
Guelph,
yeah.
With a W.
Guelph, yeah.
And any other information on people?
They are just about to do an expansion, and it's pretty exciting. They're basically going to have a little more capacity and a little more time. They're going to be more efficient, so they're going to have a little more room to play with the pilot projects. So there's going to be a wider variety of one-offs, which is what is very popular right now. Bars and people want what's new and different and exciting. So that's going to give them a chance to, when I say them, it's the brewers. They're going to have more room to play, and more time to do it. So that's awesome. So yeah, it's really exciting. It is.
So there you go, Mike, Wellington Brewery. Awesome.
Thank you.
I appreciate it,
Thank
man.
you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Yeah. You're in the Ale House. Where are you guys located?
In Toronto, in the West End, the Junction.
I have no idea where that is.
Dundas and Peel.
There you go. And how you guys work at the brew pub? You said, right? And how long have you worked there?
I've been there since the beginning, and Aaron came about 6 months after that.
And when was the beginning?
October 2012.
Okay. And when did the brewery, the brew pub start in 2012, or the actual brewery itself started in 2012? Both at the same time?
Yeah.
And how are you guys connected to it? You work there? Do you have relatives, friends?
I just work there. I do events and marketing, and she is managing bartend and manage.
Okay. And which beers do you have on tap today?
We've got the breakfast porter, we've got our Barnyard Belgian IPA, and then we've got Training Wheels, which is a coffee vanilla Belgian ale by the bottle.
And what kicked?
Oh, we just don't have an extra tap.
Oh, okay. I got you. And then if I were to have one beer out of all these, which one would it be?
Based on the weather today, I'd say a Belgian IPA.
Based on what?
Based on the weather today, I'd say the Barnyard Belgian IPA.
Okay. Can I have one of those? Well, let me ask you this: do you girls like beer? I know you have to say yes.
No, we wouldn't.
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah, we wouldn't be where we are if we didn't love beer.
What kind of beers do you like?
Honestly, the Barnyard is one of our favorites.
Let me rephrase that. What kind of beers do you like besides anything Indie Ale House makes?
I like a lot of sours.
And I like stouts.
Stouts? Sours?
Sours, IPAs.
Oh, those sour people. I don't trust anybody who likes a sour.
Sours are pretty good too.
Stouts. I can get down with that. What kind of stouts?
I like milk stouts.
Milk stouts.
Milk stouts, which are not brewed very much in Ontario.
Yeah, the United States. I'm from the United States. They get a lot of milk stouts.
Yeah. Eventually, Beau's did a milk stout recently. We did a milk stout collaboration once, but
Wellington does a milk stout too. It's pretty good. I don't know if you had that one.
No.
They're downstairs. If you like milk stouts,
Yeah. But yeah,
So-
it's a beer type that needs to be a little bit more. Needs a little bit more representation.
Yeah, I don't know. Canadians must be lactose intolerant or something. That lactose in the milk stout must be dialing them up or something like that.
You gotta grow a better stomach, Ontario.
There you go. Sawdust City. There we go. Caleb here. Didn't even start at the brewery yet, and we're asking this guy questions. How about that shit? So yeah, how are you guys making out today?
Great. Yeah, it's an awesome event.
And you said you're starting at the brewery next week?
Yeah, on Monday. So not tomorrow, but the next day.
As like kind of like an apprentice brewer, you're just basically you're gonna clean shit for a year.
Pretty much. Yeah. There's only three. It's a pretty big brewery, and there's only three, including me, 3 people on the brewing side. So it's kind of all hands on deck, whatever needs to be done.
How many barrels?
I don't know barrels. It's a 25 hectoliter system.
Kooky Canadians with your
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And Sawdust City, what would be their like flagship? You have it here.
I would say their flagship. So we have 5 core brands that we make year round, but I would say our kind of flagship, most well known, is Lone Pine IPA. It's kind of a inspired American IPA. It just won 2 years in a row. Won Ontario's Beer of the Year.
So obviously there's a little bit of pine going on in that sucker.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of an homage to the breweries in Gravenhust, which is about 2 hours north of Toronto, which is kind of cottage country, beautiful pines.
Okay.
So it's kind of an homage to that, and it's also obviously part of the flavor profile.
And this one, your Golden Peach Pale Ale, probably more of just a session pale ale, not as hop forward.
Pretty much. It's sort of like a session IPA before that became a big term. So it's wheat and Pilsner based, and then with a lot of Galaxy Mosaic hops and super kind of tropical citrusy flavors, but with less of that bitterness.
And over here you have your Chanel du Scoop.
Yeah, so this means Skokie sweater. So Skokie is the mascot of the Winter Festival in Gravenhust, where the brewery is located.
Okay.
And this is now the official beer of the Winterfest in Gravenhust. So this is a French beer to guard. And then this is Princess Wears Girl Pants, which is one of our seasonals. And it's kind of a hybrid between a Belgian Golden Strong and American IPA.
Let me get one of those.
Yeah, you got it.
That's my buddy Mark.
So what is it? Do you have an idea what this is made from?
So this is again, this one they want to keep the body relatively dry. So this is a lot of Pilsner, a bit of wheat, and then as well as some sugar to keep kind of the dry backbone. And then it has obviously a Belgian yeast. This uses, I believe, Motueka and Amarillo hops, and I think there's something else in there too.
It doesn't drink like 9%.
No, it's
like it's kind of scary.
Dangerously smooth for sure.
Like there's like a coriander pepper there.
Yeah.
And then you're not the Belgian yeast isn't crazy, but
no, it's I find it they work really well in tandem. Those two styles, in this especially.
And then, it's a hoppy dry hop.
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely get the hop, but it's not in your face. It's not like palate smashing. It's not huge, but it's enough there to kind of be like, okay, Belgian Golden Ale is kind of like a wonky style to where is it a triple? Is it a golden? Is it something other?
Right.
I would call it more like definitely a Belgian Golden Ale, but it's a really good beer.
Yeah, but it's not quite a Belgian IPA. It's not quite a kind of triple. It's something on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you were to say Sawdust City as a whole, from what you know, again, you're just starting there, do they have a preference as far as style of beer, or they're just all over the board?
They're pretty all over the board. I mean, definitely, I think they draw a lot of influences from both the States and from Belgium, but they're not sort of afraid to blend styles, just trying to sort of create new hybrids.
Fusion. So take a core base and run with it. I mean, you have a Belgian ale, you have a beer to guard, you have a 9-foot pale ale.
Yeah.
It's a hobby Belgian ale.
Yeah.
It's a beer to guard. You don't see a ton of people do that.
Yeah.
It seems pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Sawdust City beer?
They are constantly, at any given time, I'd say they have 2 to 3 like one-offs or seasonals going, and what I love to do is always kind of get my hands on those and try those, and usually when one of those comes out, it's kind of my pet favorite for a while, but I'd say my kind of go-to, the one I always want to drink, is Lone Pine, the IPA.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, where are you guys located? Like, give the whole deets again.
We're in Gravenhust, which is about 2 hours north of Toronto, right in the heart of cottage country.
Okay. And how do they find you online? Like, just sawdustcity.com?
Yeah, sawdustcitybeer.com. And same as on Twitter is Sawdust City Beer. Yeah, it's great. If you're ever in that area, we have a new brewery opened last summer. Big tap room with 12 taps. We're always serving our core brands and a rotation of one-offs and collaborations, and a beautiful retail store too.
And distribution, just like Canada only, LCBO?
Yeah, right now it's Canada only. We have 2 brands. Lone Pine right now is in the LCBO year-round, and then sort of a rotation of seasonals. So Princess Wears Girl Pants is coming in the next couple of weeks. Golden Beach is coming in the next couple of weeks. And it's likely in the next couple of years we'll have probably most of our core brands in the LCBO year-round.
Nice,
and we
man.
now have actually our Kolsch and our alt beer at the beer store as well.
Awesome. There you go. Thanks, buddy.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it. Cameron's. So what's up, man? What's your
Not
name?
much.
What's your name?
My name's Kyle. I'm one of the brewers at Cameron's Brewing Company.
Nice to meet you. My name's Matt. Where are you guys from?
We're based in Oakville.
Where?
Oakville.
I'm from Pennsylvania, United States, so you're a little more
Okay.
specific.
Oakville is halfway between Hamilton and Toronto in Ontario.
Okay. And how long you guys been in? How long you been in business?
The company's been around for 17 years.
17 years.
Yeah.
So how long have you worked there? Because you obviously
3.
haven't been there 17 years.
3
And then how did you learn how to brew? Were you a home brewer?
I taught myself.
Yeah. It's the best way.
I came back from Europe when I was 18 and decided I still wanted to drink beer.
You came back from Europe.
Came back from Europe.
Where were you in Europe?
France.
Okay. Did that influence your beer at all? Or, like, were you into beer when you were there, or?
Well, you have access, like, this was also 2005 or so. Beer scene in Ontario was non-existent in 2005. So you go over and you get exposed to all the beers of Belgium and the beers of England and the lagers of Germany. You come back and, well, there's blue and there's Canadian, and that's not going to fly so long.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. You were there for how long? In Europe?
Just 1 year.
Just 1 year. Is that what were you into beer when you went there, or did you get into beer when you got there?
I got into beer there.
And you're in France. What was the beer that you oh shit, like?
I drank a lot of Beamish and Murphy's. I drank obviously there's a lot of commercial beers too, but you have beers like Grimbergen, those sort of things. That
A lot of Belgian influence, because
Right.
it's close enough to France.
Yeah.
That's shit, you know what I mean? Like, what other stuff? Like, do you see a lot of that influence? Not just not in Cameron's, but in the way you brew.
The way I brew, yeah. My style is very distinctively English and Belgian.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of English, a little bit of Belgian.
Okay. And did you have any hand in any of these beers actually themselves?
So the RPA was made on small scale when I started. Figuring out how to make it at a large scale, a high percentage of rye in it, there was a lot of late nights at the brewery to get that done. The Rogan beer is my recipe. I rewrote it 8 times just to get it right. The White Oat Savant wasn't my recipe. It's my boss's recipe. But I was the one that pulled him aside. You got to drink this beer, and he's like, "Well, this is wrong with it. This is wrong with it. This is wrong with it." Yeah, but the oats are giving it great mouthfeel, and that was it.
So so what you're saying is you have a lot of hand in refinement?
Yes.
Like dialing it in. Or scaling. Scaling's the hardest thing when you're talking about bringing a smaller beer, going to make it in production. You know what I mean? Like, to scale it bigger. I've never had I'm not from here. I've actually avoided drinking this all day because I just wanted to do it on camera. I never had anything before. If I were to have any of these beers, which one would you say? I'm huge. I like Belgians. I like malt beers. I'm a malt person. I like IPAs too, but...
If you're a malt person, then I'm going to go for the White Oat Brown. It's a nut brown that uses white malted oats. Malted oats are a bit more creamy. They're a little less harsh than oatmeal, and it comes out in the beer that way.
Okay, so 4.7%.
Yep.
White oat stout.
Nope. The beer name is Savant.
Okay.
It's a nut brown ale.
Right there, okay. So what do you have in this?
So what do I have in it?
Like, no hops.
A little bit of English Crystal, a little bit of German Munich, decent hand of malted oats.
That's a nut brown ale right
there. That's
a nut brown.
Yeah, it's a classic nut brown, but the creaminess helps it round out the edges.
This is almost like you're talking about your English influence. This is huge in this beer. Yeah.
Like not
Bubbles?
No.
No?
Goldings.
Okay.
I believe there are a couple hops that can stand out by themselves. East Hand Golding is one of them.
Okay. That's a good beer, man.
Thank you.
At 4.7%, that's the thing. You know what I mean? You huge beers, barrel-aged beers, or whatever. Everybody loves big beers. I assume everybody loves big beers.
Yeah, but
the lower you get, the cleaner you
I
have to
we
be.
can sell 3 pints of this.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, you know.
You can't drink, triple IPAs all night.
Well, you can.
You can.
You go to the hospital and you die. That's what happens. If you, out of all these beers, which one's your favorite?
It depends on what I'm feeling like.
Fucking every person I come in here, I ask that question, and everybody gives me the same answer, which is, oh, it's a very
I'll tell you.
But you're lying. It's like asking what is your favorite child, and you know which one you like.
And there are favorites, but you never share what favorites are. I will tell you what my favorite beer is. My favorite beer, I was 18. I was in Bavaria, like Munich, Bavaria. We went to the Hofbrauhaus, and we stumbled back to the hostel. When I got back to the hostel, well, the Hofbrauhaus only sells 1 liter Steins, of course. Okay. I was 18. So you can picture what my status was. Slammed my hand on the bar. The bartender is this American guy with a huge blue mohawk. I'm like, I want a beer! And he handed me a beer. And I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was Bavarian Weiss. And I could not believe how there was banana in beer at the time. So that's my favorite beer.
Two brothers. You can't tell that they're brothers. There's no way. You're not brothers. You're not even.
We met today.
Yeah, you met today. Two Brothers Brewing. Is it Pelham?
Pelham. Yeah.
Pelham. Which is close to where?
St. Catharines, Niagara Falls.
Okay, so you're not too far away from.
No.
Okay. How'd you guys get started?
We got started with. We got into craft beer when we were younger, unable to actually legally purchase alcohol, so we started home brewing, and then from there we were like, this is something we can really see ourselves doing, so we sort of thought of what would the plan be to get us into this. So, Ace enrolled in the Brewmaster and Brewery Management Program, and I took business, and then 6 years later we opened this up.
So besides him being the talkative one, how old are you guys?
How old?
Yeah.
22.
22. Okay. And what was your gateway beer?
We actually don't have one. We have a gateway style. Oh, for us to get into
like the thing, not what you brew, but that beer you're like, wait a minute, this is what I want to do. Obviously, with the brewing school, so something true you want.
Yeah, it would have been Tank House for us.
Oh, from Boulevard. No,
Mill
not
Street.
Boulevard. I was thinking of Tank 7. What is it?
Mill Street Tank House.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, in Ontario, when we first got into it, there wasn't that many options. And the ones there were out there were not really off the deep end, but they were still flavorful enough for us to be like, okay, this is really interesting. And then we looked to the States and went, wow, this is really interesting over here. This is going to come here. Let's hop on it before it happens. So.
Favorite styles? Are you similar or different? Not brewing, just personal taste.
I'm a big stout guy, so I like dark beers. And I love IPAs, so.
Yeah?
So we're a bit
well, that's
different.
perfect, because you can bounce shit off each other and know what you want. So you said I talked to you earlier, about a year in.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going really well. I mean, all of our beers have got great reception. People are very supportive of us. We're not struggling with having to turn people on to craft beer because there's already that immersion I've seen. So it hasn't been a battle at all. We're selling everything we make. We just got to make more.
There you go. And that was my next question. How much do you make? I know in America we go by barrels. You guys go by hectoliters, I think.
Well, we do about 15 hectoliters or barrels a month.
Okay.
So, and we're very limited by that. I mean, we can't really supply too many places, but it's all we can do right now. It's got this local.
And you guys do you have like what you would call like your stable there, like the beer that you produce the most that make money from, or is it more you're just throwing shit out there and see what fucking sticks?
Well, we have 2 product streams. We have a pale ale series when we change the hop every single time we make it, and that's what we kind of market as our approachable beers for non-beer drinkers. And it's always rotating, so it keeps it interesting. And then we have another product stream where we just do whatever we want, and we try to be as weird as possible. So we did our last one was a white stout.
And I'm super annoyed that I never got to try it, because I all my friends were like, oh, you gotta try it. And I was like, I'll get up there, and then I came here and I didn't get it, so super bummed, and that's all your fault. Anyway. Okay, Victor, Garden Brewers. Yeah, man. How you make it out today?
Doing well. Good day. Great weather. Good crowd.
Garden Brewers. Yeah. How long have you been doing garden?
Just over a year now.
How long?
Just over a year.
Just over a year.
Yeah.
And what was the catalyst for you starting?
Well, always wanted to, and I guess it was just about time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been brewing? Like brewing seriously?
I've been a professional brewer for over 4 years.
Over 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you work in an actual brew house or just home brew?
Yeah. No, I was a home brewer until I worked for a brew pub chain called the Three Brewers.
Okay.
So I was with them at their downtown location, then I went and helped them open another location, and then I left them and started this.
And how big is your production? Like barrel, hectoliter, whatever?
Well, we usually make between a 20 and 40 hectoliter batch at a time. We're a contract brewery, so we have that flexibility with our brewery where we can say, give us a half batch or a double batch.
I got you.
But it's 20 or 40.
And how many beers do you produce? Like two. These are your core versions.
Yep.
Okay. That's available for the public.
Yep.
You go ahead, man. I'm interviewing, not go right ahead. And I know it's like picking a child. Which one? If you were a gun in your head, which one would you like?
Well, this is our flagship beer, so it's got to be that one.
Okay.
So we came out with first. It's a really interesting beer, but stays balanced. Yeah. Although you're right, I'm obviously biased, and it's hard to pick just one.
I'm going to go with this one, because I've already had this one. It was one of the first ones I had, and I really liked it. And it's kind of coming full circle today.
Yeah.
So, let me get one of those, man. Now, what were your influences beer-wise? Like, is there a style that you love? I hate asking that question only because every single brewer goes, I like everything. Of course you like everything. But there has to be something that really turns you on.
Well, it's a cliche, but I'm a big fan of Pilsner.
Really?
You wouldn't, I guess.
Okay, that's the last. Might be the last beer I expected to hear, but kudos to you, man.
It's a phenomenal beer.
And you think the love of the Pilsners because you like. I used to be a musician back in the day, and one of the things that irritated me was the more I got into music, the more I would pick it apart and dissect it, and to the point where I actually almost stopped enjoying it because I stopped listening to the music and just like look for flaws. And when you're talking about a small beer, pills or something like that, you can't hide it. It has to be clean. It has to be crisp. It can't be bad. Is that why you like it? Because you think
that and a well-made Pilsner is a thing of beauty. It's a desert island beer. It's a beer that you can have at any time. It's a gateway beer. It's a beer that you're gonna love if you're a beer nerd or just not that into beer. It's a special beer. It's Pilsner. There's nothing else like Pilsner, right? It's Pilsner.
Now, where are you located? Like, if someone wanted to get your beer, how would they get it? You're talking to a guy from the United States, so keep that in mind.
Right. Then you're SOL. We're a small contract brewery. We're on draft only. If you go to Brewer.ca, you can see where we are on tap. But there's little chance of finding us south of the border.
No bottle, no canning, no nothing. All kegs.
Yeah, all kegs. So I don't think you're going to find us in the States.
Now, not just to say, but I mean, if someone came up here into this area and wanted to try it.
Yeah. We're occasionally on in Kingston if you're in that area. We're on taps at bars our beer rotates a lot, so again, the best bet would be to check the website, where we try and keep it as updated as possible about who has us on.
And if somebody wanted to look you up, like social media, online, whatever.
Garden Brewers.
What's up? Garden Brewers.
Yeah, Google Garden Brewers. It'll find our website, or our Twitter account will be the first or second hit. And everything is linked on the website as well.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. Silversmith. Where are you guys located?
Virgil, Ontario. So
I am from America, Pennsylvania, so you have to be a little more specific.
So Niagara-on-the-Lake, it's a small kind of township outside of, in the middle of like Niagara Falls, state capital.
So not too far from
Not too far from
Okay.
It's about half an hour from here.
And how big of a brewery are you? Like barrel-wise or production-wise?
We have a 15-head brew house. We do double batches into 30-head fermenters. So we're doing...
Canadians and your hectoliters.
I'm an American. I've had to do all this. I'm like, wait, so barrels? How many barrels are in? What is a barrel? 225 liters, I think, ish.
It's about
that. So
let those people
So
figure
you're
that.
talking 3,000 liters of each.
Okay.
After two batches.
And is any of these two beers your like staple beers? They're like
Black Lagers are flagship beer. So
that's your
Black
flagship
Lager's
beer.
what we started with in 2011.
And this beer you just poured for me. This is what?
This is a Bavarian breakfast pizza beer. So this is the second beer that we came out with. It is a very traditional German Weiss beer.
I'm gonna guess it's not filtered.
It is very much unfiltered. Yeah,
a shot in the dark on that one. How long have you worked at?
Going on 2 years. So 2 weeks.
So I should ask him.
Yeah, ask him everything.
Oh yeah, banana.
Yeah.
Banana.
Yeah, more banana than corn for sure.
Yeah. It's delicious, actually. It's definitely more. It's very reminiscent of like a Weizenbach, like a Schneider Aventinus, like fucking Goat Boy Southern Tiers, but much lighter.
But not as much of that.
Yeah.
The sweetness isn't quite there. Yeah, I just had a Goat Boy. Not too bad. Like Southern Tiers.
Yeah, I can crush a bunch of these. What's the ABV on this?
5.2.
Oh, so I can crush a bunch of those. Yeah.
Definitely crush them all. They catch up with you. That's for sure.
No. And what are your guys' favorite beers? Not from Silversmith, general. Outside of Silversmith.
Zombie Dust is my favorite beer of all time.
Shut your fucking... Everybody fucking... Just
I'm
tell
from
me.
Indiana. I'm from Indiana. I have to love that.
What about you?
For me, I've had good beers. I really like the Heady Topper beer.
Heady Top?
Hey, that's overblown.
Heady Topper.
Meh.
It's a nice beer.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of double IPAs, Sawdust City, they just made a twin pint.
I didn't have it yet. I was over there. I had the Beer de Garde and the Belgian.
They made a double IPA called Twin Pine.
Yeah, I think they have it there,
They
right?
just have the Lone Pine.
Oh, the Lone Pine, okay.
But they made it was better than Heady Topper.
Really?
Hands down. Best double IPA I've probably ever had. For sure.
Best double IPA I ever had. Great Lakes, American Great Lakes, not your weird Canadian. Fucking Chill Wave.
That's a good beer.
It's like you're drinking fucking like citrus. You're drinking mango juice with honey and
yeah.
So if you guys were to, let's see, what do we got here? What else do you do? Do you like barrel aging? You do anything beyond that, or are you just getting into it? What?
We've done a few. We did a lambic. We did a roselaire.
A lambic?
Yeah.
Real?
Well,
like traditional lambic, like sour lambic?
Sour,
yeah.
Yeah. We barreled it for about I think it was probably 8 months by the time we pulled it out. Bottle condition. Really nice. And we also have one, a secret one right now that's in barrels. It's going to be far out, which I'll tell you about when it's off.
I'm impressed that you did a lambic because contamination wise, I mean.
Well, we pulled it out and just did it straight barrel fermentation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we do some funky stuff every once in a while, but we have these two, and then we also do just a straight English ale, like a bitter. And then we also do we have a golden ale, which is 4%.
So you're more, I don't want to say you're more on the lighter side, but you don't get super deep dark.
We're pretty traditional as far as
yeah.
We've done your imperial stouts. We've done
yeah.
Kind of
But your wheelhouse is...
Our wheelhouse is a nice, straight up, obviously German style, but we also do the English, and we do a little bit of American.
It's like Pilsner Malt, Munich, shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
2 rows.
yeah.
Good, nice, easy drinking beer.
Specific hop variety, or you just see whatever's available. I mean, as a brewer, you just have to get what you get now at this point. You can't fucking... If you want Simcoe, you're just not going to fucking get it.
So yeah, and lucky enough, like, sauce is pretty easy to come by.
Yeah.
Brewer, we use a lot of, like, in the East Coast molding into the English pale ale, so most of those are pretty easy to get. And we got some stuff with Mosaic and that.
Yeah.
We don't do anything crazy that even citrus is possible to get these days.
Delicious stuff, Silversmith. So now, where do people find you? Like
retail just at the brewery.
But like internet, like social media, whatever.
Silversmithbrewing.com, at Silversmith Brews on Twitter, and then Silversmith Brewing on Facebook as well.
Awesome.
That's where you can get all the info.
Thanks, man.
Just been kind of having fun ever since.
And like, you guys have 4 beers on tap today. Like, that's a decent amount of beers as far as everybody else here. Most people have 2. Like, do you produce more than that? Like, what do you do bottle-wise, barrel-wise? Like, what do you guys produce? Like, how much?
Now we're brewing about 4,000 liters a month.
Yeah.
Between 4 and 6 a month.
Okay.
Our max capacity is about 8,000 liters a month. So we always have our porter, our English pale ale, and our IPA. And then our summer seasonal is our Wild Child for Winter Vice. And we've had a few other one-offs. And for the summer season, we're kind of locking into our core 4 for now. And then we're going to try to be playing around lots after that.
Having fun.
Having fun. That's it. We
And
approach the brewery like we approach our home brewery. Just have fun with it.
And how many people? Like,
So there's myself and my business partner who's doing all the brewing now. His name is Bruce Pepper.
Okay.
And and then we've got about 8 people working for us now. We've got a hell of a crew.
That's awesome. What not your beers. What's your favorite beer? I know that's the shittiest question to ask anybody, but you gotta ask it, and don't be a pussy and say I like everything.
Yeah, big. I mean, depends on the day and the style. I mean, I've had some pretty moving experiences with like Founder's Breakfast Stout. That's been one of my big favorites.
3rd breakfast stout I got today. Only repeat.
Okay.
A lot of people like dig that beer.
Yeah, I love that beer. I mean, I love Two Hearted. I love just about anything from Bell's. Oh gosh. What is it? Headhunters.
From
Fathead, yeah.
And Hill Farmstead's
the Hill Farmstead.
So you're more about like the Pacific Island, like citrus, like juiciness, like tropicalness.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And do you think you lean more hop or more than malt? I know you have to, as a business standpoint, like you have to produce a hop forward beer because you got to make a buck. Not to make a buck, but you got to keep the fucking bills paid.
Yeah.
Is there? So you have to produce that. Is there a beer that you guys want to produce that you're like itching? Like, oh man, I can't wait to fucking produce this.
You know, there's a few. We talked about an old ale maybe. In the fall. What else? We tried a brown ale. It didn't work. We dumped it. I really want to try that again. We'd like to get a good big brown ale. Oh jeez, there's so many.
I've been bugging him to do a wheat beer, but he won't do it outside of the sour. But
you gotta compromise. You gotta go somewhere like Weizenbach. Do like a wheat Doppelbock maybe.
We'll find out how to do it.
So you tried to do an old ale, like trying to do a brown ale. So who's the English influence? Who's like the person that like digs English?
Well, the English actually started out as it was an amber. And then we were dabbling, and it just kind of morphed into this. We said, let's try this with the British yeast. And then it kind of morphed into some more British malts. And then in came the Fuggles and the EKGs, and then we had
Fuggles,
this.
You gotta got the Fuggles, man.
yeah. So it was kind of a morphing thing, and I guess Bruce, my business partner, kind of went through a big British phase. You know, was drinking a lot of Fullers and that sort of thing, and so it came out of kind of the Fullers as the inspiration. London Pride.
So you go home tonight, you pack up, you go home tonight, you have a beer. What are you drinking?
Chances are, because I'm too poor to buy any good beers,
I'm gonna drink my own IPA.
You're a brewer, dude. You're a brewer. You're too poor. That's how it is. What is it?
Probably my IPA.
And that's not what what am I having right now? It's not the IPA.
I think that might be
it's the IPA. But you won for the, what was it?
Wild Child.
The Wild Child. Berliner Weiss?
Yes.
And you won two, both same beer? Best beer and individual? Or
Best brewery.
Best brewery and an individual beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations. Well deserved. Like, for being a young upstart brewery, you guys are brewing well and you're doing it well.
Thank you. Well, Bruce is, I wish he was here for this because he's been brewing like crazy and working his butt off. So he's been working hard to try to nail down these guys' times.
Plug it. Social media, address, phone number, the whole nine.
So yeah, we're at Black Swan Beer is our Twitter. We've got a Facebook thing. We've got an Instagram that's Black Swan Beer as well. Black Swan Brewing. I don't know. Check it out.
Where are you at? Like bottles, casks. Like, what do you do as far as like do you do canning, bottles, the whole nine? Or
at this point, we've got 32 ounce bottles and 64 ounce growlers. Down the road, we'll be looking into doing some canning maybe. But at this point, retail is just for a retail store at the brewery.
LCBO or just in-house?
No LCBO yet. We haven't tackled that paperwork yet, but maybe eventually.
Okay, fair enough. I'm from Pennsylvania.
But then it's gonna be like, well, I can't handle you, fat ass. I'm just falling.
Falling, baby. Falling.
Baby. They're redoing the front, I see.
Here we are, Oast House. Is this technically Niagara-on-the-Lake?
Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Niagara-on-the-Lake. Oast House Brewery. Say stuff.
All right. Well, we're about just over 2 years old. Right on the wine route. A bunch of locals that got together with, wanting to brew some good stuff and drink a lot of that. And here we are.
And there, how many owners?
There's 5.
5 owners. And what was the catalyst for starting the brewery? Like, was there, you're always into it and it just kind of organically happened, or was there something that like tipped the scales?
Yeah, I mean, we've always been into it. I was a winemaker, but if there was schooling for a brewmaster school in Canada when I did my winemaking school, I probably would have gone down that road. So there was a lot of potential in this area. I mean, it's flooded with wineries, so to have to drop a brewery in the midst of that and get it on like a major road like this was the plan, really.
And what was how long ago did you start here?
Yeah, so we're just over 2 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, I mean, the whole thing goes back to 3 years.
Yeah.
We opened our doors just over 2 years ago.
Okay. And how many do you have? One head brewer? Do you have a bunch of everybody has their hands and stuff? Or
a brewmaster, a head brewer, and 2 brewers underneath that.
And did you start with the same?
No, we started with 2. Okay. And we've also got Niagara College just up the street here.
Yeah, my buddy goes to Niagara College, actually. That's one of the reasons why I came out. I was like, oh, stop by Oast. He's a big fan. And like, do you guys, like, it seems like you're very, farm to brewery kind of thing, like very, all grain, organic, like not all grain, obviously all grain, but keeping fresh local produce kind of stuff. Is that kind of like your thing?
Yep, we've got a couple pilot projects with some farmers locally from here all the way to Beamsville, where we're experimenting with hops, and we planted about close to 10 different varietals in total. Going to see how each does. We should know, like, we planted about a year and a half ago. So, in another year or so, you don't really see the true nature of how the hop's going to do until like the 3 years. It's a lot like the vine.
Yeah.
So it's at kind of in its peak 3 years in terms of production and yield. So yeah, we'll see what grows well here. Things should go really well here. I mean, this is there's a lot of comparisons to the vine, and a lot of them do like fertile soils and that kind of stuff. And I think one of the reasons you don't see them is because the grapevine is so successful here and it makes so much money for everyone. But with the craft beer boom, you're going to see a bunch of hop brewers pop up everywhere.
And that was going to be my next question. Like, with you going to school for wine, how does that translate? I'm sure there's a lot of connections, but I'm sure there's a lot of different stuff. Like, do you think that brings? I'm sure it brings good stuff, but is it a unique angle coming in at it from having like that background of like wine, like a winery or a wine person?
For sure, I think there's a lot of connections, but I think we like to make beer that has a lot of that depth and complexity. We make bottle conditioned beers. In fact, we're the only brewery in Canada to have a full-time cellar for doing naturally bottle conditioned beers that naturally re-ferment in the bottle. So we do the farmhouse sales, which obviously ties in nicely with our brand here, but we do a Saison, Beer de Garde, and
yeah, which I'm drinking right now, which is actually my favorite beer that I had today. It's a little bit unique for a Beer de Garde, but in a really good way. And do you have the Saison, you have the Belgian, or the Beer de Garde, is there a lot of Belgian influence, or is it just something you like to work with, just anything? Like, are you guys in one area, or you're just like, whatever your brewers come up with, you're good with it?
I think we always evolve. So our portfolio is kind of based around those two beers, farmhouse ale bottles, the Saisons and the LCBO, which is a local liquor store around here.
Yeah.
It's going back to the US, but then we've got our Barn Raiser Country Ale, which is a really nice sessional pale ale.
That's probably you call your calling card beer, I guess.
Our workhorse, yeah. Because we only ever do the other ones bottle conditioned. They'll never go on tap. We're always going to keep doing them the traditional only way. And it's now on tap over 300 places from here to downtown Toronto. So it's been received really well. It's very approachable beer. It seems like regardless of gender, it's been received really well. So.
Like seasonal beers as well that we do.
And then we do a different beer.
Farmers as well.
For sure.
Another owner here. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Craig.
Sorry. He skipped off camera when I hit record, so I didn't know if he wanted to be on camera or not, so I didn't want to point it at you doing
He ran.
Yeah. I kind of saw that. So yeah, I mean, this is a great space. I mean, we're actually not in a bar right now. He took us up here. If you actually look out here, I mean, you have the winery, but I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Good God, was this like an old barn, or just an old barn you built?
Been a million different uses, but the original part of it goes back over 100 years.
And when are you guys gonna kind of christen this? Like, did you already serve beer up here? Or?
Yeah, we do special events.
Okay.
So we tie in some corporate groups. We do small weddings. There's a lot of, it's obviously Niagara-on-the Lake's a big wedding destination. We do a lot of rehearsal dinners.
Okay.
And of course, there's a lot of corporate groups that stay in hotels downtown and that. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it gives people, everyone's been coming down here for years, and corporate groups going out to wineries for dinner. So now we partner with a lot of local restaurateurs. Specifically, I'll get Strong on Vagabond, which is Canada's first food truck. The guy's downstairs.
Okay, yeah, I saw that food. Looks delicious.
Yeah, food's fantastic.
So do you feel like 3 years ago, you feel like you kind of just got in right at the sweet spot for this area?
There's always a lot of luck involved, and
we
definitely got into the ground level, and I think, I think there's still a lot of growth ahead of us.
Yeah.
I'd say there's probably been 100 breweries that have popped up after us, and, and they're still coming, so yeah, it's great. It's a healthy industry right now.
Cool. What else you got to show me besides this beautiful space?
You can head down through the retail store where we got Cinco de Mayo, and then into the production.
You lead the way. That way I can see what the hell's going on.
Craig's going to take over. He's going to jump on the mic as we go.
Oh, yeah?
A musician.
Oh, yeah?
Quick ballad, and then then we'll have the production.
Karaoke style? What do you know? What did you do before you did this?
Winemaker.
So you jumped right out of school, you're a winemaker?
Yeah, I did different areas around the world. France, Australia, Argentina, States.
Nice. Let's see what about today. You can see a bunch of people having a blast.
This is one of our most valued employees that we have.
Yes, that's all. You're going to be famous.
Oh my God, dancing! This is awesome!
It's on TV. There's a picture of a mighty Oast house. We're in Niagara.
Yeah. This gentleman has the best facial hair in all Ontario. That smells so good in here.
So Yeah, Oast houses, in case you're not aware, they go back to like English. They're like older Dickens era England, where Oast means kiln. It's where the hops were dried and processed. So it was symbolic of those old agricultural breweries of Europe, which we're trying to tie into.
Nice.
Two things the Niagara Way. This is a very historic agricultural region. So
now, is there history behind that name? Like, are you like super English influenced in the beers you like, or somebody? Or you just
no, I mean I'm born in Ireland, so it's
yeah.
You know, I mean originally even before England, it went back to Holland.
Okay.
It's actually a Dutch word. And we did a special beer with a 300-year-old recipe of the DPA, Dutch Pale Ale, that actually predates the IPA.
Jesus.
This writer came to us because of the tie-in with the name when we did an old recipe and released it in Toronto, and it's been received really well. So.
Now, besides your own beer, what do you have a beer that turned you on, or you just kind of just?
You know what? For me in Ontario, my gateway beer was probably Tank House. Back in the day, you know, Tank House was always in my fridge when I was living up in Toronto, and Mill Street was one of the first craft breweries in Ontario, anyways.
And is there a specific style that you're like lust after, or you just like? I know everybody says I like everything, but I mean there has to be a bit of like a style that you really.
You know, there's styles that I like when I want to have a few pints, and there's styles I like when I'm pairing with food and that kind of thing.
I gotcha. Fair enough.
So totally. I mean, I'm always we're one of the only breweries I think around that constantly is just doing a new beer every month. So like we try and switch it up. I get bored easily, I think.
And how? What's your production size here?
It's a 40 barrel system from Specific Mechanical, a Canadian company out in British Columbia. And then we got a few new tanks. There's a place called Creveller, a local producer of tanks. We started adding on with their tanks too. So we've got.
So you do a ton
you're
of.
running out of space already. Like
That's a good problem.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of like distribution keg wise, like you do like local bars, stuff like that.
Yeah,
obviously, I mean there's stacks.
Yeah, like I said, we've got about 300 accounts that we really just go from here down the QEW up and down at the Toronto, a little bit into Western Canada, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
I was super excited to stop in here because, like I said, my buddy's going to Niagara College, so he brought back a couple of Oast beers in the past. They're your Saison, but your Brett Saison, which I was fucking, that was...
Farm Funk.
Yeah.
Yes, we do a specialty farmhouse sale every year. Farm Funk was a Brett Saison last year. We have our sour mash beer to Mars coming out for May 24 weekend.
Yeah, we did a bottle share, and we were doing like a ton of beer. We were probably like 7 deep, and it was huge beer. Like, shouldn't have gone that big that fast. We're like, okay, let's drink something, because we never had it before. We were like, let's drink something and kind of just reset shit. And we're like, oh, let's drink the Saison. And it like stood up to the big boys. You know, I'm like, wow, it's pretty fucking good. And, you know, you go from a huge barrel age whatever to a Saison, you're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But no, it was delicious, man. Yeah, no. This is pretty fantastic. I'm a fan, man. I appreciate you showing me around. Thank you. Absolutely. There you go. Awesome. Cheers. Yes, sir. What? No, it's my buddy owns a tattoo shop. Every time I come to people asking about my shirt. No, my buddy owns a tattoo shop in Ohio, and it's a Sunday German. Yeah, Dark Lord Day was last week, wasn't it? Last weekend.
Oh, I was there.
Yeah?
I was there.
Where are you from?
Just thinking, yeah.
Yeah, born and raised?
Born and raised.
It's nice.
Center of the universe.
Well, I'm from the United States, so.
Where are you from?
Pennsylvania.
I hate Pennsylvania. Where in Pennsylvania?
Scranton, home of the office.
Oh.
Which is a shitty show. I don't know why I say that.
Shitty show?
It is a shitty show.
Shitty show?
It's a shit show and a shitty show. It's
Are
like
you a Scranton, Barry, Wilkes?
I actually live right on the edge of Wilkes-Barre. I don't live in Scranton, but I just say Scranton just to make it walk there.
So what made you come up to Ontario today?
I do like the whole beer review thing, and I'm friends with Chad. So I usually come up, hang out, do the whole thing. So that's why I'm here. So I got here yesterday.
Cool.
Drank way too much beer last night.
There's never too much beer.
It got drunk out. So you're a whale chaser going down there Dark Lord Day. That's usually.
This is
like
my
one
first
of those.
time.
Yeah?
I knew what, like I read what to expect.
Yeah.
And I got what I expected. I'm not a whale chaser. Maybe I am a whale chaser.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe I am a whale chaser.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But I mean, I had a list of.
And you can skip ahead of me.
I had a list of about 45 whales that I've never had.
Yeah.
And I probably had about 20 of them last weekend.
Okay.
So,
what's your favorite beer? Let me ask you that.
That I had last week?
Besides Refined Fools,
Barrel
Aged Porter.
Yeah. Favorite ever, or just favorite?
Just rattle some off.
I'm a sour fan, so I like a lot of stuff from Cantillon. From Fawn. And then sort of the Russian Imperial styles. Like I like Cigar City's Hanapu. Sours though, I mean, I could just drink sours till my gut rots.
Yeah. Russian Imperials, I'm a big fan. Not a big sour guy. I love my Russian Imperials. What's your favorite non-barrel aged Russian Imperial? Let me ask you that.
Non-barrel aged from Cantillon?
No, non-barrel aged Russian Imperial. You have one, or do you just like the barrel aged stuff more?
And it's always better when it's barrel aged.
Sometimes. It depends. It does. Sometimes beer is made to be put in a barrel, sometimes not. Sometimes people take a beer, put it in a barrel when it's not supposed to be barrel. That's my view. Opinions are opinions, but.
We had the Goose Island proprietors.
Okay.
Amazing. It was like a coconut.
Coconut? That's why you like the barrel aged stuff. You love coconut.
True. And from what I heard, unfortunately I didn't have it, but I heard they had an event where they actually served it in a coconut. So a coconut tasting beer in a motherfucking coconut.
But yeah, Hunabu's great. Dark Lord's great.
We had a couple Dark Lords. We had the bourbon barrel aged at the show. We had the 2011, right beside the 2015. The 2011 was great. 2015 was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, one of my favorite beers happens to be from Rogue. They're nut brown. They're hazelnut nut brown.
You know what? I tell you what, Rogue sucks ass, and that's just a personal preference or personal opinion. But I will drink hazelnut if I'm sitting on a porch and I want to do a session beer. I'll drink nut brown all day.
I love their hazelnut nut brown. I mean, I'm like you. I'm not a big Rogue guy, but that one in particular, for some reason,
it's just super drinkable. There's nothing wrong with it. You just drink it and you enjoy it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a matter of drinking. I'm sure you're recording me.
I am. Oh, I'm totally recording you.
Cool.
Can we get it on there? You don't care, do you?
I don't care. As long as I don't think he's just stupid or racist.
What's up? No one just answered. I'll turn it off when you say it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Did you say if I say anything?
No.
Oh, come on now. You might go on the internet now.
Oh, I'm definitely.
You'll be famous on the internet.
I already am famous on the internet. Don't tape her, please.
What's up with Well, how are you famous on the internet?
Well, I'll tell you, Dark Lord's Day there. Mind you, we're in Munster, Indiana, a very conservative American town. And of course, I had to break out the Canadian national anthem in front of
hundreds and hundreds of Americans.
Creepy Americans like this guy right here.
Drunken Americans. So I'm proud of our country. You know.
I love Canada.
I love Canada too.
It's a little bit sideways, but I dig it.
Sideways.
Yeah, you paint your like construction cones black and orange instead of white and orange. Like, what's up with that, man?
That's your biggest beef?
No, that's everything's like that though. Everything's just a little bit different.
Well, you got like free healthcare and.
Yeah, we got that in the United States too. You can't say that anymore.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you this. No, you know what? And I went to Dark Lord's Day, and they were protesting the new law that they have in Indiana, where you're allowed to discriminate against people who are gay.
Listen, there's shitty parts everywhere.
I mean, you know what? If that law was passed,
just started.
Take the hit acid, I fuck with your mind.
Yeah. Why, you have acid right now? I take some acid right now.
Matt, just to be
clear,
you don't need any acid.
No.
What is going on?
That would have been the best. You'd be the best, baby.
Where's fucking Ingrid? Is she gonna come and yell at you guys again? You can't have a party.
Don't make me put my dick in your butt.
Who was that, Helga? No, the woman that owns the place.
She's
part
fucking
whatever.
SS or whatever.
The funny thing was, Paul, myself, and Matt, we did a review like out in the front.
Too much noise.
Well, we did a review out in front of their fucking their room, and then Greg comes there and she comes in. She goes, "You guys can't have a lot of people over here. Like you can have party." And we're like, "We're not having a fucking party."
You sound like an Asian woman, right?
I don't know.
Like a Vietnamese woman, right?
You can't have party.
You can't have party.